Hi, I'm Matthew Quilliam and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Back with another review for you now, and this time it's of a new book that's hot off the press, and that is the Ukulele Reference Book. Now normally when I do these reviews, I always like to look at the thing that I'm reviewing for a little bit of time and really get to know the work. However, when this arrived yesterday, I just couldn't put it down. The moment I opened it up, I was so blown away by the amazing quality of the production that I just had to come on here and tell you guys all about it. This book is written by Stead and John Theophilus. Theophilus? I'm so sorry, John. Please forgive me. One day I will meet you and learn your name. But for now, Matt and John you shall be referred to. This is published under the Uke Room, which is a great ukulele centre in Wales. Definitely go check out their stuff. I've put a link in their description. They're both a ukulele shop and they also run events like concerts and retreats and things. And this is their latest book. Now, this book is a little bit on the pricey side at 5p short of £20. However, it is well worth it, and it is definitely... the money is definitely on display here, from the beautiful cover to the beautiful illustrations on the inside, and it's absolutely packed with everything that a ukulele player might want to know. Now, the mission of this book, as it says on the cover, is to be an encyclopedia of everything a ukulele player would ever need, and for the most part I think it achieves that goal very well. There are a couple of omissions that I think they could have covered, but nevertheless, picking this book up you will learn so much. Now, it's not a tuition book, but it has a great reference. If you see something on a piece of music that you don't understand, it's more likely than not going to be in this book. Not only is it designed to sort of give you an explanation to symbols you might see on sheet music, the first half covers all sorts of things from clefs to how to read tab. It's got all sorts of diagrams and things in here about how to read sheet music and tablature and things, and very clear explanations of all of those things. But it also gives you some great resources to remember certain scales. I mean, if you look here at, look how much detail is in there, and there are so many pages of all these different scales and chord shapes and modes and things. It's really great, and it's all nicely colour coded as well. Let's turn to a fairly standard chord and let's look at minor. So on this page you've got all 12 minor chords in 4 different positions. First position being in red, second in orange, third in green and fourth in blue. And they're both detailed, both in the tablature, as you can see there, all nicely colour coded, but as well you get a diagram all the way up to the 12th fret, and that is incredibly useful. I've never seen anything that goes into so much detail and has so much reference. There's so many different scales and chords and things in here, and you will have a great time. You will definitely learn something that you didn't know by picking this book up. I certainly did. I took a good amount of time looking through this, and I picked up about 20 different things that I didn't know already. Of course, as a more advanced ukulele player, I do know most of the contents in this book. However, as a teacher, I'm going to find this particularly helpful as well, especially as a teaching resource, because if I'm stuck for an explanation on something, I may open the page up and show my pupil where all the melodic minor scale notes are, or something like that, or I'd of course recommend it to a student. It's got such clear diagrams that would be great for introducing people to concepts they haven't discovered before. The quality of the book as well, it's a really nice weight and it's nice and glossy and finished really nicely. The presentation, as we've covered before, is beautiful, and you've got photographs and things as well, and some really nice sort of big clear text as well. It's very clear and very crisp and great, really simple diagrams for anyone who needs to have a really quick flick through this to find what they need. It's not a learning resource where you're going to spend hours studying it. It's designed to be opened on a random page and you look at it and go, ah yes, that's what I was looking for, and then you can go on and play, and this book does that exceptionally well. It's also really useful for me as a composer. I'm a relatively new composer and I'm still learning how to notate things so that other people can play my music, and there's all sorts of instructions and sort of references as to how you might go about notating things as well. So I found this really useful because I've since buying this book learnt how to notate a tremolo pick, a palm mute and a rake, which I didn't know before. Instantly learnt that just from opening the book and going, oh yeah. So you learn things instantly, it's great. Sadly, I think there are a couple of things that they missed. If we look at the scales, for example, that is a wonderful diagram, I must say, but the scales in here are only really for playing jazz, blues, pop, that kind of thing, and there is a little bit of an exclusion in terms of some more classically based ideas. For example, you've got bebop scales, which are great for jazz, as well as blues and pentatonics, as well as the standard major and minor scales, and all the modes as well. But there aren't things such as the whole tone scale, or the two diminished scales, augmented scales, things like that. And so I feel like those could have been included as well, because they're on a similar level of complexity, if you like, as sort of bebop theory, and why that is important as well. So it was a shame to not see those represented in this book. Another thing that I think might have gone in here, unlike the scales I just mentioned that I think should have been in here, this following point could be in here, could not. I don't really mind either way. They do talk a little bit about ukulele anatomy, and I think they missed a trick here by giving a sort of overview of commonly used strings and woods and things. Not a massive in-depth detail, but it could have been useful as a reference to sort of say what tones certain types of wood give out, and strings and things. It is a huge rabbit hole, but so is a lot of the music theory that they've managed to simplify in here as well. And so I think had they had the space or the time, they could have perhaps included a little bit on strings and woods and things, just so people know what to look out for when buying new ukuleles. And so there we go, those are my thoughts on the Ukulele Reference Book from the Uke Room. As I said, I just had to get on here and tell you all about it because I think it's such an amazing purchase. I'm very glad that I paid the price for it. It's an amazing book, and you should definitely get one if you're either a learner and you need to have some really easy and clear diagrams on all sorts of topics, from notation to scales and chords and things, or if you're a composer and would like to learn more about how to actually notate, or if you're a teacher and you need some resources in order to help you demonstrate new concepts. Definitely make sure you pick this up. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Matthew Quilliam. I do more content like this, as well as performance and tuition videos as well, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.